Well, it is widely agreed that a strong demonstration of commitment by government, persons, individuals, and the community in tackling the scourge of gender-based violence or domestic violence, as the case may be, is one of the routes to take in ensuring that this scourge is nipped in the bud. Now, for the longest time, this conversation has been at the front burner as to the commitments that can be extracted in ensuring that this issue is controlled, regulated, and persons that are victims are sort of taken care of, and provisions are made to ensure that they are properly integrated in the society. And the issue of the trauma that comes with the issue of gender-based violence also taken care of as much as possible. Well, in the studio with us today is a young, enthusiastic, and vibrant girl child advocate in the person of Abasi-Ibianake Edem. She joins us live on Niger Delta Today. Abasi-Ibianake Edem, you're welcome on Niger Delta Today. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you so much. It's
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Well, there's been a lot of developments in the Niger Delta region, especially in Akwa Ibom here, for a couple of some years past, starting with there's this lady that lost her life because she went job hunting.
Yeah, in
Morin,
Yes.
and that was a lot to take in the state. And fast forward to more recent developments. Just a couple of days ago, we had reports of a girl that was allegedly killed by her supposed boyfriend. And this has generated a lot of conversations on social media, even away from the Niger Delta region. There's been issues of this nature, domestic violence, spouses having fights and husbands beating wives and all of that. It is truly a concern in the region, and it is only natural to try to understand the basics around this issue: government role, community roles, individuals, and whatnot. What do you think are the roles of these sections of society in curbing this issue?
Well, I would like to start from the individual roles.
Okay.
All right. So as a human being, as a lady or as a guy, when you are in a relationship with somebody, let's address the one that just happened recently where the girlfriend was strangled to death by her supposed boyfriend. You know, when you are in a relationship with somebody, trust me, from the very beginning, the signs are always there. The signs of violence, you know, the signs are always there. It could be from the tone in which this person responds to you when he or she is angry. It could be from the words he or she uses, you know, especially, you know, when to look out for these things, especially when maybe there is a misunderstanding or, you know, a little tension in the relationship. The signs are always there. So as an individual, who should look out? Because when you go into this relationship thing, you should look out for yourself, you know. In as much as you should be selfless, you should also look out for your safety as a human being first.
Okay.
So when you sometimes we tend to see the signs and then we ignore them. Trust me, if he or she hits you once, because these days we have cases of ladies, you know, going physical on their spouses.
Yeah, of course,
you know?
that's another angle.
So if he or she hits you the first time and then he apologizes, it doesn't mean that it will not happen again. For someone to have, you know, the audacity, or so for someone to think that, okay, I can raise a hand or a finger on someone I love, you know, to start, because love is the bottom line of all of this. They stay in the relationship because they claim they love this person. So for someone to think of raising his or her hands on you, it means the person does not really care for you. Because already going physical as a human being, going physical is not a responsible thing to do. So that is like a sign of irresponsibility. You should know what to do at the point where you notice that, okay, the signs are there. Now, aside the relationship thing, let's talk about the ones where girls are being, you know, young girls are being victimized. Sometimes, in most cases, it's not from people outside. You know, we have cases of uncles abusing their nieces. We have cases of maids, you know, being abused by their bosses or maybe family member. You know, I know of a case where this girl grew up with her grandmother, and then right in that house, in that, you know, environment, she was being abused by family friends, customers who come to buy from, you know, her auntie who used to sell. So these things are, to be very honest, the individual, first of all, you should be, as an individual, you should look out for yourself, and then you should know when to step out from that space. All right. Then as a young girl, what we should do is we should create an environment, a safe environment where these girls can speak up, because trust me, in most cases, these little girls, the teenagers, they don't want to speak up because they feel like they're going to be blamed. There are cases of victim blaming a lot, especially in Akwa Ibom.
And even issues of threats.
Yes,
threats.
yes. When you begin to say, when a girl comes to say, oh, I was molested or something, and then you hear their parents, their grandparents, or maybe their aunties say that, oh, you like wearing short skirts.
Where were you coming from?
Yes, exactly. You like wearing short skirts. Where were you coming from? Where were you at this time of the day? Meanwhile, there is no excuse. There is no reason, to I don't want to use the word rep, because it is very raw, but permit me to, I hope I can do so.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
There is no reason on earth for you to rape a teenager because of what she is wearing.
Okay, what
that
about,
is not an excuse.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, because babies in diapers get raped
these days.
Do you
understand?
So what attracts
babies in diapers? What is the attraction?
Yes.
What is? There is no attraction. It's just a thing of the mental health. Anyone who rapes, I used to say, every time I go for campaigns, for activism in secondary schools, I used to tell the girls that any man who rapes you is mentally sick. All right.
So that brings us to the next issue. If indeed these persons who perpetrate these heinous crimes are mentally sick, what would you suggest are those steps that should be taken in ensuring that events of this nature are nipped in the bud?
You know that we have a lot of persons like me doing advocacy for young girls. I feel like the men should also see how they can do a kind of sensitization programs for these men. Because trust me, if you go to interior villages, there are some persons that don't even understand that, trying to side talk a young girl is a crime.
It's a crime indeed.
Sure.
So men should also take up their responsibility.
Yes, the same way we come together as young girls, and then we have different initiatives, we go for campaigns, we advocate against gender-based violence and other forms of violence. I think that's the same way men should also come together and organize sensitization programs. They should start from the secondary school boys, because that is where this thing starts.
How about incorporating all of this into school curriculum?
Yes, that's a good suggestion. And also when it has to do with government, when it has to do with the role of the government, I feel like they should make sure that every law that has to do with gender-based violence abuse, everything should be properly and strictly enforced. Because like the First Lady said, it will no longer, the First Lady designate rather, like she said, that it will no longer be business as usual. We find cases where when they go to court, they say, oh, this is the, stories come out from left, right, center, and then before you know, the case is being dismissed.
Yeah, and recently there have been reports and findings about the effect of oil spill on the brain, where hydrocarbons and other toxic chemicals are released, that it actually affects the synapse, affects the brain function, and it can also lead to high level of violence and irritability.
Exactly.
How do we walk around that? Because we have a lot of oil spills and environmental degradation around us. So should it be blamed on that? Do you think that's just an excuse we perpetrate evil?
No, not at all. I'm sure that the people who are in that niche of climate change, I'm sure they're doing their best.
Okay.
But most of the time, it is not an environmental,
The Niger Delta is highly polluted.
Oh yes, actually. But majority of the time, trust me, violence is not about the environmental, mental health or whatever.
Okay.
It has to do with the psychological aspect of it.
Okay.
Your way of thinking. It starts from, you have a younger sister, and then you feel like you can raise your hand on her anytime you wish, because maybe she did one or two things. You can scold your younger sibling, you understand? But any boy child who feels that I can beat my sister anyhow, if she tries anything, I'll beat her,
has a tendency to be violent in the future.
In the future. So they should put all those things in check. As a parent, as you should as well look into your home as much as you can.
Okay.
We have parents paying more attention to the girls and the boys. People are, when you go to social media and you read that, okay, that era has passed and all of that, but trust me, it's still happening. You know, parents pay more attention to ladies. They want to
Shape
train
the
them.
girl,
They want to
shape
shape
the world.
yeah, exactly. They want to train them to be modest, to be cordial, to be decent. How about the boys?
Oh.
You allow them to go play football, and then at the end of the day, they learn one or two things outside. When they grow up, it begins to manifest. They lay their hands on their wives. They rape people. They have sex with people without consent, and you know, they just misbehave.
Oh.
So these are the things that we should look into.
Okay.
All right, all right. Well, Akwa Ibom State government had said it recorded over 1,400 cases of gender-based violence, and we're hoping that if these suggestions are effectively put into work, we'll be able to crash this number in the next couple of years, so that at least when we're talking about the statistics next time, it will be much more reduced. Thank you very much, Abasi-Ibianake Edem, a girl child advocate, for coming on Niger Delta today.
It was good to be here.
Really appreciate your time on the
Thank
program.
you so much. Thank you.
Well, that's the size of Niger Delta today. Many thanks for staying tuned. It's Valentine, and I'm hoping that you would have all the fun in the world. My name is Xavier Robert. Wishing you a terrific weekend.
And I am Abe Ruswagene Ebo, saying thank you for being with us.